That snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
Yeah,
you want one quick question?
we can't ask Rashad questions.
We
Hey,
talking
Rashad.
about Sia. We talking about Playboi Carti. He finally announced I Am Music is coming out this Friday. Let me tell y'all something, man. I my coworker at my old job, he was interviewing what's my Scream. He was interviewing DJ Scream, right? And DJ Scream brought him to the studio Swamp Izzo. So he said, "Yeah, this is my boy Swamp." I said, "Swamp, who?" He said, "Izzo." I said, and then he laughed or whatever. And I said, "You know, I gotta ask you, brother." He said, "Oh man," he had like he on the phone or whatever. So I said, "So can you give us a time? Is it April? Is it May? Is it June? Is it summer vibes? What is it?" He said, and he walked off. And there was a way to look cool or whatever. But I quickly realized as he left the office, he legitimately had no idea when this project was coming out, bro. He had no idea. But to name your first single that you released in 2023, 2024, and you're not releasing it until darn near 4 months into 2025 is crazy. And here's where I stand with this Playboi Carti thing, bro. I don't think Carti can win with I Am Music. I don't think there's any chance that Carti can win with I Am Music because the anticipation was just too long, bro. It's like people was waiting this long, and it's kind of like it's how I feel about celebrities in general, right? So it's like Beyonce, she can't go anywhere. Like Beyonce couldn't grocery shop if she wanted to in America. Like it's just not a reality for her in this lifetime, in this lifespan. And Andre 3000, like Andre 3000 plays the flute in Atlanta, like as I covered, and we had 100,000 people out there at Piedmont Park, over 100,000 people, over 100, like close to 200,000 people at Piedmont Park to watch Andre 3000 play the flute. And I believe these things happen because when you disappear and you make yourself inaccessible, that kind of increases the people's like want and desire for you. It's like Frank Ocean. I feel like personally, it's a hot take. I feel like Frank Ocean's a bit overhyped on the music side of things. And it's not to Frank's fault. I think it's literally just he disappears. So people are just like, it makes people fiend more for his music. It's like, Frank Ocean, please, Frank Ocean, the GOAT, this is that. And it's like, is he really the GOAT or is he just a guy who makes good music? I think Frank Ocean is just a guy who makes good music. I don't think he's the GOAT out of it. But that's another discussion. I bring all of this up because I think with Playboi Carti, he's created himself a situation for himself where he made himself so hard to reach, so inaccessible, so mysterious, so all of these things that people are just like, Playboi Carti's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you go from being really good and people like you to when you go, people can't have access to you anymore. It's like people just go to another level for you. They go to the next level. And that's like exactly what's going on with Carti, bro. And I bring this up to say, with that, you get inhumane level of expectation of who you are and stuff. Like Andre 3000, I feel like he could walk the streets more and he could just navigate as a relatively normal human if he didn't, just be so away from everything. Like the Braves have an Outcast bobblehead night. Andre 3000's in Japan playing the flute. Someone's doing 20 years, 50 years of hip hop anniversary. Andre 3000's not there to perform with Big Boy Outkast's hits. Super Bowl comes to Atlanta in 2018. Maroon 5 is announced as the headliners for halftime. People are mad. Maroon 5 brings out Big Boy because they recognize the mistake as well. Big Boy just performs "I Like the Way You Move" and nothing else because Andre 3000 is nowhere to be found. Like all of these years of Andre 3000 not showing up to stuff just made when Andre 3000 showed up to stuff. Oh my goodness, the honorable, sensational Andre 3000. And don't get it twisted, by the way. Like my username on Instagram is Jeff3006 because like from the time I was a kid, it was 3000 Jeff 3000 something because of Andre 3000. Mom waking me up every day, turning the TV to MTV and turning the volume all the way up to the max on my TV in my room. Because and every single 8 a.m. for some reason during the weekday on MTV, Hey Y'all music video would be playing, and you know what I'm saying, in the year 2003, 2004. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Andre 3000 has a huge effect on my life, and he's a huge influence on me. One of my top influences in my childhood, like just period in my life. Like I appreciate Andre 3000. The same token, bruh, like some folks be dragging it, dude. I'm not gonna lie. And it's because he made himself so inaccessible. Same thing with Beyonce. Like Beyonce might never be normal enough to do normal things, right? But if she made herself accessible, a little more accessible and kind of out there, people heard her talk more nowadays and stuff like that. I think she would at least be able to move like how her husband Jay-Z moves. Like Jay-Z can go to a football game, Jay-Z can go to a basketball game, sit courtside. And it's a big deal when he's there. It's like, oh snap, Jay-Z's here. At the same time, like he can kind of move around a bit normal. He can go to parties and this and that, like and all these things. So I don't know. I think being inaccessible is a crutch ultimately. That's my take. And that's why I think Playboi Carti cannot possibly live up to the expectation of this album. Because the album expectation is going to be like, you got to think he had the Lit album. I don't want to say the full album title. Lit album in like 1819. Classic. Whole lot of red, experimental, different voice, the baby voice and debut and stuff like that. Surprise drop on Christmas Day in 2022. Ye's on it, everything like that. Great album. And he really had a lot of just like references to him being a hip hop head, which I don't think a lot of people picked up. But it's like you hear him and you're like, bro, he's saying some stuff that's like deep hip hop. Like he shouted out Key and Man Savage. He was like, I was with Key and Man Savage on the east side and stuff like that. In Whole Lot of Red. He said they want me to be a white boy, but I'm not Lil Dicky. Like he shouted out Lil Dicky. He shouted out obviously MF Doom, everything like that. Long live to the Mad Villain and stuff like that. This was before he passed. And it's just like Cardi was making some deep, deep hip hop references on that album, bro. And you couldn't really like pick it up if you just listen on a surface level because you just hear like what like vampire noises and stuff like that. But like it was some like stuff where I was like, this dude kind of has done his homework. And and the self-titled, the debut was like amazing too. It was amazing too. Chest on my neck on my chest on my neck and my ooh, whoa. And it's going crazy. And then of course Magnolia is like super hit and woke up and you know what I'm saying? Like number 9, jeans, almond, Cardi, 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 number 9, keep it, tug. Yeah. I blind myself looking at the thing. But yeah, man, Cardi has some amazing stuff. So it's like when that's the bar you set, and then like the singles was hitting too, like the little 2024, and then the Instagram singles, the Evil Jordan. Suspect the fire, gonna be I'm the same swamp is so. And then like all your features was hitting. I heard some of the joints that he was previewing at Rolling Loud, Miami. I don't know, man. I just don't know, bro. The joints with the weekend, I just don't know, bro. I don't know if he can live up to the hype because the hype is just too high. Like people gonna expect this to be the album of the year. And when you have people waiting a whole half year more than what you originally told them, like I just think it's a setup for disappointment. It's a recipe for disaster. But we'll see, bro. We'll see. Best to Carti, but I did want to put in my honest thoughts going into the album. So if I do an album review and stuff like that, you guys can at least know like what my mindset was going into it and stuff like that. So yeah. Best of luck to Carti. Always rooting for the South Side. Always rooting for the A. Speaking of the A, Lil Nas X, I think is a great example. He was a huge pop star, took a year off for his mental health, came back this year, and 100,000 views in a day is great. 100,000 views in a day is great, but this is a pop star who was getting millions, like near billion views for stuff. 3 months ago, 3 million views. You see this 3 years ago, 162 million views. 5 years ago, 1.3 billion views. 5 years ago, 179 million views. 3 years ago, 602 million views. 5 years ago, 494 million. He was 494 million views, bro. 500 million views, 250 million views, 100 million views. So it's like that's what he used to do, and that's what he was used to, bro. Like an off song, Sun Goes Down, 50 million views. Are you serious, bro? Are you serious, bro? This joint right here. BET, 25 million views. That was off for him. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like he took that time off, and the buzz just kind of like, it's difficult to live up to the hype when you take such a long hiatus. That's what I'm trying to say. And so we'll see what happens with Carti. Like I said, wishing him the best. Yeah, last couple things, man. Okay.
That's steps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Enjoy Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.